1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air.
Pod.
And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. We're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen,
Southside Pod.
Blue Island, Beverly, Pay Listen, all sub 2. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oakland, Midlothian,
Southside Pod.
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
And belly on up to my 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. My name is Chris. That's Bill. That's Mike. This is Southside Pod. 30 minutes of good in a world of dumb for the South Side. We have a musical guest in the house for this episode. The Railway Gamblers. Can't wait to get them in here. Several local folks having events around the area joining us during this half-hour podcast. We are out and about in Blue Island. We're going to tell you all about it. It's happening this Saturday. It's all brought to you by Family Waterproofing Solutions. You heard the ad at the beginning of the show. Named one of the Southland's best for several years in a row. They now offer express service. If you know what you want, you can see the cost right on the website. I don't know who does their kind of work and puts the price right there. If you know what you want, order and schedule it on site immediately for quick service. If you want them out to take a look at your problem, 24/7, call them at 708-330-4466. Your basement's best defense is at familydry.com. Before we get to our first guest, I took the family, the entire group, out of the city, down south a bit, and we walked through a cave. Now, we were doing other stuff, but we ended up walking through this cave.
In the earth.
Into the earth. It's pouring rain. It's been pouring rain all day. As we're standing there before we go down, the guy goes, does anybody want any galoshes? Because there's some water at one point when you cross over the river in the cave that's coming up near the bridge.
Right. Remember when that whole group of soccer kids got trapped in one of those when it was raining?
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, how high is the water? He goes, well, it's not there yet. Worst case.
About yay high.
Worst case. It might touch your feet. And I was like, all right, we'll be fine. So we're heading down the cave. As we get into the cave, we get to this bridge and you walk over the water that's running through the cave. And the bridge is just barely above the water line.
Sure.
And I go, is this going to come over the bridge? He goes, oh, it should be fine.
It hasn't come over in 20 years.
Should
Don't
be fine.
worry about it.
Should be fine. I'm like, all right. He's like, I've never had it happen while I'm here. And I'm looking at it, it's going to be okay.
I've been here for 3 weeks, sir.
Stop reading my mind, Bill, because 20 minutes later, when somebody asked him how long he'd been doing this,
no way.
He says that he's been there for 2.5 weeks. At this point, Dominic looks at me and goes, we've made a terrible mistake.
We're all
And
dead.
so then I said, how often does the cave flood? And he's standing there in the cave. Now, we're on the other side of the river.
As often as caves floods do.
We've gone down, crossed the river, and now moved up, which means if water comes in the chamber we're in,
stuck.
We're stuck because the other chamber's filled. And I go, how often does it flood? He goes, in this chamber, flooded about 8 months ago over here, and he points his flashlight above us.
Yeah.
And I go, there's nothing. That's just in the wall. Like, there's nowhere. We'd all be underwater.
Right. You're thinking
here.
now they got to give me sedatives and oxygen masks to push me through tunnels and stuff. Like 7 weeks from now,
exactly.
when they find me.
He goes through the entire rest of the tour is him showing us all of the times in the last 10 years that the cave is flash flooded.
Nice.
Above where we're at.
Like stepping over skeletons.
Meanwhile,
what is this? Oh, don't worry about that.
The cave is leaking water on us. And he gets to this one point and he tells us, now, this dome here in the cave, it's got a house right above it. How much rock you think's between that house and the top of the dome? And everybody's like, 100 feet, 40, 2,000 feet.
What did
he goes,
say?
it's 12 feet. And I go, 12 feet? And he goes, 12 feet from the base of that house of dirt, and then it's just a cave.
That's not enough.
Let me explain something to
You
you.
ever seen sinkholes
we were in a dome that had a ceiling that was thousands of feet high, which means that when that house finally falls through that dome, and it will one day,
will, absolutely.
everybody's going to die in 100%. The house. Everybody. And he goes, by the way, that's Joe's house.
Yeah.
He leads tours here too. And I said out loud right there, I interrupted everybody. I'm like, let me get this straight. A guy who comes through this cave every day and sees all this water damage here and these rocks falling off and sees all this mud and the fact that it floods constantly. Yeah. He built a house above the thinnest part over the dome. He goes, yeah.
Where you want your house, Joe? On the dome.
Does he have kids? And he goes, 3 of them. And I go, this is a terrible thing.
Does he have life insurance?
No, they would not insure him. He is too dangerous.
He is uninsurable.
The way he lives makes him
uninsurable. Okay, Mr. Joe. And are you a smoker? No. Fantastic. Okay. And any history of heart disease? No. Wonderful. Okay. Is your house built on a dome above a 1,000-foot cave? Yes? I'm sorry. You need to go now.
With 12 feet of dirt between the house and the hole. That's crazy.
Why did you continue on?
So at this point, I'm like, all right, we've got to go back. I was going to turn back.
We should have went zip
And
line.
then I hear another tour coming through. And that guy sounded like he knew what he was doing. Was it Joe? And so I go, well, there's another tour coming through, and he tells me, he's like, whatever the guy's name was. It wasn't Joe, because if it was Joe, I was going to stop Joe and be like, what's wrong?
We need to talk.
Joe, you and me need to talk about safety of your family, okay? But he's like, oh, no, it's so-and-so. He's been here for years. And he's like, he's the oldest tour guy we've got here. And I'm like, well, if that guy's in the cave and he entered after us, we may be okay. But until I crossed that bridge and came back out again, I was prepared. I was thinking to myself, which kid can I save? And which one would I leave behind? Because I can't save everybody. And I had come to the realization that the boy who was the athlete could fend for himself at 15.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Excellent swimmer. And then I decided my daughter, she's 17 years old. She's a good swimmer. She'd be okay too.
Yeah.
And then I looked at my wife and I looked at my 7-year-old and I was like, well, I'm going to be a single dad because I have to save the 7-year-old.
Oh my God.
I mean, how do you leave a 7-year-old?
I thought you were going to say you were going to be single.
No, how do
you were going to leave them both and just save yourself.
how do you leave the 7-year-old behind? How you be judged as such a bad father? And I thought to myself, I'm like, she would want me to save the 7-year-old.
But I've met your 7-year-old. If it collapsed, it was probably his fault.
I have a confession to make. It's true, and I'm guessing you have done the same thing. Put more time into thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for your retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree with you, and I want to help you out. I've got a local, experienced, down-to-earth guy who's a friend of this show. He's got a get-to-know-you approach and do the right thing values, and he's been around for over 20 years right here on the South Side. His name is Tom Walsh. He's located on the corner of 111th and Kedzie, and he's waiting for your call. In times of financial uncertainty, how can you stay on track? Call someone who's invested in your success. Reach out to Tom now, 773-779-0023, or pop in at the office right on 111th and Kedzie. Tell him we sent you. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC. We have a musical guest down here at the 9-Foot Homemade Oak Bar, the Railway Gamblers. I have the singer, songwriter, rhythm guitar, harmonica, piano. That's what I'm reading here on your website.
That's right.
Brendan Folliard down here. And then Matt Fricks, he's only the lead guitarist.
That's
it. You just do one thing.
Yeah. He does many things.
All right, so you guys are a Southside band. You've been around for a while. So tell everybody who may not have heard of you, even though I'm sure there's people listening who know you are,
start off with
what
one
you
thing.
do. Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah, thank you.
But I'm going to start off with saying this. I listened to a couple episodes of this podcast, and my God, it took like 4 minutes. You got so many sponsors. Or like, I'm like, can the guy get to the damn show?
I know. You know what? We have to pay for Catholic school tuition. I got Macaulay and Brother Ice here. Like I know. In this house. They're expensive.
This is Southside Pod. I go, this really is a Southside Pod because We're walking through the driveway. I see the car. Mother Macaulay, Brother Rice, stickers on the
communion
back.
party decor.
Right.
And,
We just had a communion party
He
here.
comes out the door with a White Sox hat,
In bare
fighting
feet.
a Illini
In
shirt.
bare
I'm like,
feet in the
okay,
driveway.
this really is a Southside
And then you're
garage door almost killed him the other day. So there you go. This really is a Southside. You can't get more Southside than that.
No, you can't. You cannot get more south side of that. It's got a crooked basketball hoop out there.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, that's rusted on one side so it leans, but they still use
Yeah.
it. It's got the above ground pool that's covered right now. It's a mess.
Yeah, the basketball hoop. Yeah, one of those ones that the kids finally realize they're.
I'm
They'll
just gonna
never
let 'em
make.
go
They'll
off.
never
Just-
make.
yeah.
They'll never make the NBA. It's like that's why we got the baseball leagues.
The
there,
kid we
you know?
got the kid we got the basketball hoop for plays hockey now. He doesn't even play.
See, there you
basketball.
go. He learned very early.
Oh man.
All right, you're gonna play down here. Okay, so like, I know we're gonna have to go acoustic, and there's
Yeah.
no drums or anything like that. But is that going to be similar, or is that going to be like a real treat for Railway Gambler
No,
fans
I mean,
because they
it's-
don't hear that style out of you?
It is something that people have been familiar with. But yeah, we're actually, one of the songs that we're going to do is we're in the process of writing a new record with the rest of the band, and we're going to do a stripped down version of that. So definitely something unique that most people haven't heard yet. So yeah, kind of a treat, I guess. Yeah.
Somebody goes to one of your shows, because I see different local acts that are around, and some people are doing like a ton of cover songs. Some people are mixing in their own stuff. Some people are exclusively doing their stuff. Some it's like very audience participation and rowdy and everything like that. I mean, like when I sit down, when I see one of your shows, because we're gonna announce it. We do it all the time. We say, hey, this is going on Saturday. This
Sure.
is going on Friday. This is what's going on this weekend. Like what are they looking at when they walk in the door?
Original band. I mean, we always joke that we don't really play cover songs.
Good
so,
for
I mean,
you.
Yeah. So
No, I respect that, man.
Yeah.
I really do. If you can captivate a crowd, and you can get people to come to your shows, and they're your songs, that's impressive to me, because I've always felt like, I don't want to besmirch somebody who does covers, and maybe
Sure.
they throw one in every
it
once
takes
in a while.
talent to do covers well. It really, I mean, it
Exactly.
does. We're not good at it.
Even if you put your own spin on it, okay? Like, let's say you throw one in the middle of it, but if you're able to throw your original stuff in there, that shows an awful lot of talent.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, we've been doing that since 2014. I mean, the first show that we played in, I think it was April 2014, we played it at Hearts, and I think even that first show, more than half the tunes in the set list were songs that Brendan actually had written.
It really is like, it's not like, oh, hey, man, we're playing our own stuff. Like, like that kind of ignorant thing. Like, covers are just, covers. Covers are cool. People do them really nicely in certain ways and everything like that, and make it their own. But I think, like, when you can really write a song and then you kind of can put your own words and feelings out there, and the band comes together and we all like create, the melody and everything together. It's really a magical thing when you're playing it live, and you really enjoy that more than just like, hey, let's learn this 3-chord Tom Petty song or something like that. So the magical thing, it's like, if people don't like it, they don't like it.
I go find live acts from time to time when I'm out. Are there places that you prefer, that you like? And if you give me one, you're not besmirching somebody else, right? You're not making anybody else feel bad. But like, if you could rattle off one or two of them, like, where do you guys like playing the most?
People's backyards.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just like in the neighborhood, like do a block party or something?
Not like a block party or anything like that, but like, I don't know, like when it's like people a little bit younger than us or like the same age or things like that. I like playing those. I thought it was funny. One time we played The Taste of Chicago. It was funny because like you look and you feel like you're playing a stadium because there's so many people when you look out on the stage. And you're looking out and all the buildings, and it's so beautiful and everything like that. And then you look down and there's like a bench, and somebody's eating like a Lou Malnati's like slice. And you're like, okay, maybe this ain't it.
Is this guy even here for us, or did he just find a place to sit down?
You're like thinking of all those videos you see of like, I don't know, Coldplay or something where everyone's holding up the lights, and you're like, oh, this feels like that. And all of a sudden you look down and like somebody's eating a hot dog. You're like, oh, all right, man. And then you go off stage and you go in the porta potty and you're like, maybe I gotta rethink some things here.
Maybe this didn't go the way we felt it was
No, it
going.
was a great
But
gig,
going
but it
back
is, yeah.
to that song stuff, I was about to swear there. I always call it like the beautiful curse that wonderfully ruins my life is songwriting, because doing the original like music stuff and like the songs is why I say that, and why I think that is because if I'm 65 years old and I'm sitting on a front porch and I'm retired from my job or something like that, and I'm just strumming away, I'm still going to be writing the same songs and like stuff that I've been doing. But now it's just nice, like when you have a band and you can actually have like people surrounding you that enjoy it and everything like that.
What's your method? Because I always thought that songwriters like wrote something almost like a poem and then walked in. Like I remember watching a Metallica documentary and he comes walking and he's got stuff written down, right? But then I watched that
Why
Beatles.
would you say Metallica when I come in here with a Motorhead shirt? That ain't enough rock and roll. I need Motorhead. Come on.
But then I watched the Beatles documentary, I think that was on Disney, and they're sitting there coming up with the song first and then trying to figure out what the words are to go with the song. So everybody seems to do it a little bit differently. How do you do it?
It happens differently every time.
It does.
Sometimes you pick up a guitar and you find something and you're playing, well, you mentioned all those instruments at the beginning, which made me sound like very talented, but I'm very very minimal at those things.
Or you're like Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins, you're playing six things at once.
I'm very minimal at those instruments, and the way that I think, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, there's great players, and then there's people like me that are very minimal with like playing the chords and working around some stuff and finding really creative things to make out of just the minimal things. Like if you have like almost like paint and stuff, like, you know, you have like only so many paints and you're not going to Michael's. Well, I need a, you know, to make a brown paint, or I need to make a green paint. So you're taking all the colors and you're mixing them together, trying to find, you know, that color. It's the simplicity of it that really brings it out. And I think like when I write the songs, like the lyrics and everything, the lyrics are, I always say, like, people always go, how do you write those songs or anything like that? And I always say, like, it's very easy. You could take 2 seconds and make it into 2 minutes, where like you're dancing with a girl you really like and it was only for 2 seconds or something at a bar. But what did her hair look like? Her eyes were glowing. What did the floor of the bar, what was the bar? Was it a dive bar? What song was playing? And so you could really distribute all those things in one and make it really a beautiful 2-minute moment, which in your mind is a lifelong moment.
He could be a total loudmouth and listen to the soft side of him right now.
I mean, seriously.
Like,
I mean, he's such a different guy.
I know.
Wherever the wind's blowing down
I know.
here. Like,
You know
isn't
what
it
I mean?
amazing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've seen 4 different personalities. At one point, you were like, "Is everything okay with the microphones?" Because sometimes he talks really soft, and sometimes he's shouting,
Yeah.
and his hands are waving. Like,
My
I mean,
cousin would say I'm shouting.
you know what he is? You know what he is? He's an artist. I mean, it's obvious.
is an artist.
From top
I
to
would
bottom,
never-
he's
He's
an artist.
definitely an artist.
From top to
man.
bottom,
He's the best.
You have been around now, not quite 10 years, but for a while.
9
right?
years.
9
yeah,
years.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We're almost
2014.
10, yeah.
Almost 10, yeah.
So what's the goal? Are you at the goal right now where you're playing all over the South Side and you're recognizing you have your following? Is the goal bigger? Are you just happy that you were able to stick together for 9 years? Because a lot of bands can't do that.
I mean, that's definitely part of it. Is I think that we're super fortunate and feel like the goals, like we're accomplishing goals as time goes on, because we just love what we're doing. We still love what we're doing. And we're still going to play shows, and we're still going to strive to play bigger shows. And we're in the process of making album number 7 right now. And that does not stop. And we're actually doing something very unique with album number 7. I don't know how much we're talking about that yet, but we're trying to like showcase how
Why
we
is
play.
he giving so much away?
I'm just saying one little hint.
I need a
about it.
nugget, man.
Yeah,
I got to get,
little
you know
nugget.
what? Give me something good to get those people through those commercials at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, no. So I mean, as far as the goal thing goes, is we're gonna keep putting out records. We're gonna do this for a very long time. I don't think you settle for any goal. I think you just keep going and you keep performing. You keep writing tunes, composing, playing. We're all great friends. We love what we do, which is a goal in and of itself, that we can keep doing this for 10 plus years, which is awesome. But the goal isn't accomplished yet. We're going to keep putting out the next record. And like one of my favorite things that Fowl will say is every time we put on an album, we're just like, all right, let's look back. And like, you know, we'll be sitting having a drink either in the studio or at the practice space. And the conversation will come up and we go, you know, what's your favorite album so far? And everyone will like say like, oh, you know, I like the earlier folky stuff, or I like the pop, like rock stuff. And Foul's answer every time that question comes up, he goes, my favorite album is the next one.
Here's the thing. The goal. There is no goal. Really, I'm not kidding. I know it sounds stupid.
That was deep, man. The goal is there is
I
no
know.
goal.
It sounds douchey.
You should crochet that and put it up on the wall.
With kids that are listening to this and I say douchey. You lucked out because I'm just saying that word. But anyways, really the goal was just to make music with your friends.
When is your next show? Okay,
So we actually play a week from.
Did I get too deep there?
No, that
you're
was
good.
great.
Oh, that was good.
you just
We
stay
play-
right where
You
you're
didn't
at.
say anything.
No, I was letting you talk.
I know, but
A
you
good
did like
interviewer
you did
will
it
sit
kind
back
of like,
and let you do what you want to do.
I know, but you kind of did like a little bow head thing, and I'm like,
I
oh
was
God, I'm reaching something, and this guy did something. That garage door is getting to
You
him
got
again.
me. You got me. You touched me.
He's like,
For a
man.
moment, I felt like calling my mother and telling her I love her. Okay, all because
Damn,
of you.
wait till you hear the song.
because
then.
of you.
Yeah.
All the days and what we were doing and how we wanted more. All the songs and all we were singing, I look over and adore. At you, and all I was thinking is how we had in store. So wonderful. All the times when we were leaving, I'd be waiting at your door. All the times when we were grieving, I'd lay with you on the floor. Guess the winds of love was sleeping, oh, it's just the way they blow. They blow. No reason to cry, my darling, with all you have to show. No need to tell nobody, nobody needs to know. This little life we've been living, oh, how fast it goes. All the times when we were dreaming, oh, how fast they go. So wonderful. All the things that we were feeling, why do they have to go? I'd follow you anywhere, that's just all that I know. Guess the winds of love were weeping, oh, that's just the way they blow. They blow. No reason to cry, my darling, what do you have to show? No need to tell nobody, nobody needs to know. This little life we've been living, oh, how fast it goes. All the times when we were dreaming, oh, how fast they go. Fly away. No reason to cry, my darling, with all you have to show. No need to tell nobody, 'cause nobody needs to know. This little life Oh, man, I messed that up a couple times, but that's good.
If you've been injured at work, then you need someone who will fight for the care and compensation you deserve. The insurance companies will look out for themselves and their bottom lines, not you. I'm Matthew Coleman, partner and head of the work injury department at the law offices of Parenti and Norm. My team and I have the experience, dedication, and proven results it takes to fight for your rights. Call or text me today at 312-641-5926 or visit us on the web at pninjurylaw.com.
A look around the South Side brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard, and Cool Clouds wants to offer you an alternative. Full taster bar, great CBD products, located right next to the very soon-to-be open Spoke and Vine, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. See all they have to offer at coolcloudsvapor.com or stop in and see them at 3148 West 95th Street. This Saturday, the 13th of May, Southside Pod will be out. Stop by and see us right in the middle of Mai Fest 2023 in Blue Island. It's put on by the Blue Island Arts Alliance and the Streets Arts Alliance. All up and down Old Western Avenue. Food, drink, music. Blue Island Beer Company's right there. You heard all about the Ocho, that amazing beer that they made for their 8-year anniversary. It's still on tap. Get over there and try it. You're not going to be disappointed. Over 100 artisan vendors up and down the street, rain or shine. If it is raining, they're going to move people inside at all the different locations along Old Western Avenue. It looks like a slight chance. I think they're going to have a good day, though. Make plans to join them. It kicks off at noon. It goes until 5, and I remember that party lasting later up and down the street. Again, come find Southside Pod. We're giving away all kinds of swag. We're going to have a contest as well. You might win some cash. I mentioned Blue Island Beer Company out in Tinley after Mai Fest is over from 6 to 9 p.m. Hailstorm Brewing Company presents Jay Vanna live music. Looking around the rest of the South Side this weekend, Friday the 12th, 6:30 to 8:30 in the evening, the Bappa Porch Concert Kickoff, a free, family-friendly outdoor event open to all talented artists. Bring a chair. They're going to be playing all over the neighborhood. The first act amongst all the acts that'll be part of this, Beverly Country Club will be playing this time at Ridge Historical Society. On Saturday, 8:30 in the evening, Whiskey and Harmonies playing at the American Legion in Evergreen Park. It's a free show, 9701 South Kedzie Avenue. You don't need to be a member at that Legion, and they've got a really good bar in there. Also on Saturday, 8 p.m. until 11, Wonderburger, Grant's Wonderburger to be exact. They're hosting the Murder Hornets. I think it's a band. I don't think it's a swarm of murder hornets. That would be not a good thing. And your Mother's Day place to be this weekend, brought to you by Sid Sauce. They develop the sauces, they bottle the sauces, heck, they grow the peppers all here on the South Side, and they deliver to your door. It's the only place I get my hot sauce from. And the Mango Ate Your Baby is maybe one of the most flavorful hot sauces. You can put it on anything. I just bought a couple of bottles last week. Learn all about them. Make an order, sidsauce.net. There will be Mother's Day brunches everywhere, but one that I want to highlight this Sunday, the 14th, 11 a.m. until 2:30 in the afternoon, Mother's Day brunch at 115 Bourbon Street. For a table reservation, 708-388-8881, extension 108. This is a brunch, and they have a huge menu. Reservations are for 11 a.m. and 12:30. On the line with me right now is Jason Berry. He's been on the show a few times. Jason works for the Village of Lemont. How are you?
I'm doing great. We are very excited for the next few months here in Lemont.
You have a ton of stuff going on. There's no hard feelings about the fact you guys just fell short in the Battle of the South Side, right? I mean, it was a heck of a showing.
No hard feelings. Hey, we won our side of the bracket, and we're looking forward to next year, showing what we could do.
Good. It's unfinished business for you guys. I suggest T-shirts. Unfinished business next March when it comes back around again. Okay, so I'm looking at your list of things going on in Lemont at LemontDowntown.com, and I'm just kind of floating through it, trying to figure out what I want to cover and where I'm going to be on Southside Pod. And I found about 4 or 5 things that I was like, I don't want to miss that. I mean, you've got everything from a Blues and Brews Fest to a 150th anniversary celebration for the village and much more in between. So tell me what's coming up here in May and June. Quarryman Challenge, I think, is something going on Saturday?
Yeah, that's happening this Saturday. This is a wild race through Lemont. If you've been to the village, it's all uphill from downtown. So there's a 5K and a 10-mile race up and down. My favorite part of the activity, though, is the after party. Party on at Pollyanna is at 9 a.m. Pollyanna opens early. If you're a runner with a bib, you get some free beer and food. But if you're just a family member or a fan of Polly, you could come by and start your day early. Start your Saturday early.
Hold on, let me get this straight. I can kick off my Saturday at 9 a.m. at the brewery?
Yes, you can. This is Lemont.
I love Lemont. You guys are the best. Okay, and then I see a parade coming up here at the end that's just for pets.
Oh, yeah, that's a wonderful event. That's benefits Ellie Strong, a resident of Lemont. She passed away while she was still in high school, and her mom has kept her memory alive, organizing events throughout the year, and it's a fundraiser for the Ellie Strong Foundation. It's a wonderful event. I brought our wiener dogs last year and plan to attend again this year. It's a great, great family event. That's
on the 21st of May. That's a Sunday. And then it looks like 6 days later, Blues and Brews on Saturday the 27th.
Yeah, that's the first big event for the Forges season. So at the Forge, Lemont Quarries, it's a wonderful place to go out and see music and have some adventure as well while you're there. So that's their kickoff to their season. That's Saturday. It should be a fun event.
I don't want to take over what you have. What are you most excited about that's coming up?
I'll say what I'm most excited for, but Tuesday, May 16th, is also pretty exciting for us. We are launching our Lemont 150th lager. So Pollyanna Brewing is doing a special beer, a Euro-style pale ale, think Polish lager, and it was canned yesterday, and it will be officially released on May 16th. There's a party at the Pollyanna Tap Room at 6 p.m. We have a special label. It has the Steeples of Lemont with the 150 logo. It's going to be a really cool beer. And we'll have that available all year long. Cans will be for sale in retail shops, and we hope every restaurant and tavern in Lemont gets a keg.
Oh, Jason, I think I might be out there next Tuesday. We could get together. You can show me the beer with the guys over at Pollyanna, and we can get that on next episode. See how I'm angling for a beer if you didn't notice that.
We were happy to give you beer.
So that kicks off the 150th anniversary celebration, which has got to be a big thing all summer long for you guys. You have a festival for it on a specific date in June, right?
Yeah, we have a whole weekend. June 9, 10, 11, we'll have events, but the big one is June 10th, and it's the 150th Anniversary Fest. So it's very community focused. We're getting all the local organizations, especially the local ethnic groups, involved. So if you ever wanted to be invited to a party with a bunch of Polish people, Lithuanians, Slovenians, Irish, German, throw them all in downtown and serve them Lemont 150 and see what happens, this is your opportunity.
That's so Southside.
June 10th. Downtown Lemont.
That's so Southside. That's the most Southside pitch that I've ever heard for an outdoor party. That's awesome.
And we'll have all the rest. We'll have the folk dancing, and we'll have the music, and there's carnival rides for kids. And so you bring your family. The kids will stay engaged. All the community organizations, again, are out, making sure everybody's having a good, fun time. And that'll be on Front Street, just on the north side of the I&M Canal there. The street will be closed. And we'll be having a great party that starts at 1 p.m. on Saturday, June 10th.
I tell people all the time that, if you're looking to get away from the hustle and the bustle of where you're at, that it's not that long of a drive to get to Lemont. I mean, you're basically running down, a College Drive, 123rd Street. It changes what it is, but it's 2 lanes. And from Palos, it's like 10 minutes to get out to Lemont. And it's just a way to kind of get away from the busyness. And you have so much going on down there. And I love the fact that you have Southside Pod around for it.
Oh, we love having you here. And don't forget, June 18th, Father's Day, Matt's Barbecue is hosting Q on Canal.
Oh yeah, that's the barbecue fest. I'm coming to that. That's my Father's Day wish, is to sit around and eat barbecue all day. And Matt's is good.
Yeah,
They've been on the show before.
Most Southside Pod dads. Yeah, we're hoping most Southside Pod dads say that's the one for me.
It's the Southside. It's the Southside. It's Southside Pod. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod. Y'all come back now, you hear?